Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Stine and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And as always, we cannot talk yarn without me having my faithful mug of tea. And today this tea is my Lipton tea. It is the pyramid bags they do have, and it is the Russian Earl Grey, which basically is an Earl Grey with a flavor of a lemon. And they're apparently proud that they are Spanish lemons. I just know I enjoy the taste of it. I do enjoy a good Earl Grey, especially with a little twist of lemon. It just adds a bit of freshness, which fits into the summer. I just brew it, so it's warm. It's hot, so just gonna put it a little bit to the side. A few things has been happening since last. A few things is gonna happen coming up because it is slowly getting vacation time. For me, it's quite well deserved. I haven't had a real vacation, not related to events where I sort of work, since that we went 4 weeks to New Zealand, which is about a year and a half ago. So, yeah, I'm actually having vacation next week. Well deserved. That also means that I might pop in here and there to reply to comments. But anything next week is sort of pre-recorded and prepared. So in other words, next week there will be no live. There will be no morning live because I will not be there. And there will also not be a yarn talk video. I have plans for alternatives, so don't worry, there will be something on this channel next week. I do have an accessory haul from Temu coming up with a few nice handy things, I believe. But yeah, let's get into actually a yarn talk instead of me having to enjoy myself. Of course, a few will probably ask for photos, etc. I may or may not do something that is a bit undecided. But what is sure is that I did progress on some projects since last time. And we always talk about my projects in chronological orders and the projects I may want to start. So I have a new planned project, but I also have some projects that I definitely worked on and some mistakes I made and so on. But let's all talk about that as it comes. The first project that I am currently working on, which is the one that I started the longest ago, so to say, is the Fleur Mosaic pattern. Fleur is by Anke Wintermans. Anke Wintermans is a Dutch designer. She writes her pattern in Dutch and in English. They can be bought at Ravelry as amongst examples. And you can find that the link to her Ravelry store for this pattern in the description box down below, because yeah, where credit is due, and this design I think is absolutely gorgeous. I did progress, which means that I added another round to this. Last week I had stopped at the Bordeaux, and now we are at round 38 out of 129, so we still have quite a bit to go. And here we are. And honestly, I'm going to tell you something. I made a mistake. I made a mistake in the previous round, which is when I found out had to frog 1.5 rounds. And then I looked at it and I decided that if you know where it is, you may be able to see it. If you don't know where it is, you probably won't notice. And then I decided it was too much work to frog. For once, I wasn't a perfectionist, because I didn't feel the mistake was that big that it would disturb the picture as a whole. At least for now. Maybe I'll regret in a few rounds. I will have to probably even look to find where it is. I know where it is. I think should be. But now I'm struggling finding it even, which is a good thing, right? So then the mistake isn't that big. I grabbed the wrong loop in the previous round, but it's not too far off because all the stitches still add up. So I don't know how I did it, but and it still looks symmetrical. So I will not complain. Front side after row 38. Back side still nice and clean, carrying the yarns. Stylecraft Special DK is what I'm using for this, which is a premium acrylic. I do believe also anti-pitting probably, or very close to it. It is 3.5 ounce skeins to 295 meters, so 100 grams to 295 meters. So that's like 322 yards or something like that. Yeah, in another 9 rows, I think row 47 is when I change. So I need to do 39, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more rows I need to do, and then we are changing colors. It's getting close, right? We are definitely heading into red sometime in August. That's my current stomach feeling. But of course, I tend to work on so many things that, you know, maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe it's first gonna be September. It's taken me a good half a year to get here. But that's also because I work on so many projects at the same time. And this project is one I really need to sit down to and say, okay, now we're doing this. And I just don't have the time to do that every week. I don't. But I will definitely have more time in the future, by the looks of it. Unless the perfect job comes along, then I will have a couple of months of chilling out, doing other things in life, figuring out if we'll grow this channel more, or I don't know, basically. New life, new changes, new adventures. I'm looking positive at the future, even though it will have its challenges, but I'm definitely looking positive at the future to come. That was the Fleur Mosaic blanket. And then after the Fleur, I started, with the help of you guys, with the help of the community, I had a poll what projects I should start on next. That was back in, I believe, February maybe, or March, February or March. And the decision was to start on the Firefly Sweater, which is a sweater where I hold the Lammy Soft Sensation, not Simply Soft, Lammy yarns, Soft Sensation yarns together to create one thread, and then crochet it along. And it creates a very gorgeous teal workup. So these are the Soft Sensation yarns. As you can see, extremely thin yarns. Holding them together works up nicely. 4.5mm crochet hook is what I'm using with it. And it gets this lovely effect when it worked up together. Gorgeous. It's all double crochets, so very simple, plain forward. I will need to block it. This is the back panel, and I work on it during my morning lives. So I did another 2 rows on it, and we have 6 rows to go, so 3 more morning lives, and my back piece should be done, and we can go into the arms. So yeah, this autumn I predict that we are gonna get finished with this one, at least. And yeah, looking forward to it for sure. Yeah, what else is there to say about it? Actually, not much. It's the Firefly Sweater is a free pattern from Hobby. Also link down below. And it's important to say I don't follow the pattern fully. I took inspiration from the pattern because the Firefly Sweater is a cropped top sweater. And I'm not really into cropped sweaters. I'd rather have a longer covering my back and belly. So I increased the length of the pieces for the front panel and back panel to reach longer, and therefore it won't be a cropped version. Maybe I'll regret that. I don't know how it's gonna come out design-wise yet, but we will see once I've sewn all this together. Hopefully it's gonna look gorgeous still, but we don't really know. I will also need to block it because I have the feeling right now it's a bit at the smaller side compared to what I thought it would be, following some aspects of the pattern. I do use a different yarn. The yarns I'm using a set is the Lamy Yarns Soft Sensation. They are 25 grams a ball, which is like 0.9-ish ounces to 205 meters. So that's like 220 yards. So quite thin yarns. They are having non-animal fibers. They are 74, 76% acrylic, and the remaining will be polyamide. Do look fluffy as if it was mohair. Absolutely wonderful alternative to mohair, I think, especially if you have allergies for woolen fibers. Not too expensive either. Actually, they're decently priced. I think they're like 2.5, 3 euros per skein if you pay full price. A bit less than 3 euros per skein if you pay full price. Yeah, so I reached to make another 2 rows, and next week I won't progress on it, but we also don't have yarn talk next week. But we will have the following week, and hopefully I should still have time to do on that Wednesday a morning live. And else it's gonna sit dormant for 2 weeks, and that's just how it's gonna be. But I'm good with it. You know, we decided that the morning lives were the perfect place to do this project because, you know, it's mindfully simple, straight back and forth, which allows me to be a lot more present with you guys. For like, if you answer me questions or you just hang around with me in the morning, and we really chit chat about everything. Normally what I do for those morning tea chat, let's try again. For those morning crochet and teas lives is that I usually drink Pickwick tea, and on the back of side of the Pickwick tea, there are these labels, and they are having various questions, and we try to answer them. Last week, or this week actually, I wasn't able to answer it. I had no good answer to it. That happens too. Feel free to rewatch that if you're curious in what that would be. So that was the Firefly Sweater, and then I actually did start projects since, but those I've also finished. But the next project, which I'm still working on and not finished because I also don't have finished objects currently, is the Airkor Shawl. And I finished another color transition. I started on a second. So I was about here last time, and this is what I've added. These are the rows I've added since. You can better see it if you have some background, actually. They're all small Christmas trees. And originally thought as a Christmas scarf, which I also have in Christmas colors, absolutely gorgeous. But I thought Christmas trees, they're natural, but they're still trees. This yarn is perfect for it because it went from brown and we're still going to get to this lovely green. I thought it was really perfect for the idea. Let me know. But we're starting with the darker brown, going lighter browns into the greens. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think they're perfect colors. And another person was so kind to tell me last week they're wonderful autumn colors, and I did not even consider the fact that they're also good for autumn. But given the fact that I am heading off, I need to bring projects with me as well because we are driving. And this is also a perfect driving project because it's a 6-row easy repeat. I know it out of my head. So I'm probably gonna bring this with me. That makes a very good sense. So that is going to be my car project. But I also have other projects that I do want to bring with me. So yeah, I did another 4 repeats. So that will be 24 rows on this since last time. But as I said, I want to bring this at least with me. And I don't know if I'll finish it or not, but I do want to bring more with me. I think it's gorgeous, by the way, this. I really enjoy the colors, especially now when it's like this, without the browns, when we get into the greens. I really think they're gorgeous. Lime greens to darker greens. almost like olive green here in the center. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But yeah, so I'm gonna bring that with me, but we are gone for a while, so I want to make sure I have enough with me. So I probably need to find more projects to bring with me. Also slightly limited to room in the car, but I was thinking of bringing my Thoughts of Ireland shawl with me as well, which is this shawl that I started on a couple of weeks ago after a member poll, where you guys helped me deciding what next drops project I should make. So this is a drops pattern, free from a K.A.M.E Studio, which is drops website for patterns, etc. Again, description box down below. Thoughts of Ireland it will be. And I had a 3-way tie, and after the 3-way tie, I had a live around when the poll ended, and during that live, I did ask those who joined the member live what project I should start on based on those 3 things. So I posted like 5 projects, and 3 of them had equal amount of votes. So therefore, I took it to the live and said, hey, my members want me to make one of these 3, but we can't decide. Which should we do? Run a poll, and the Thoughts of Ireland was just the one that had the most votes. Henceforth, Thoughts of Ireland it was gonna be. And the Thoughts of Ireland is made in this absolutely gorgeous DROPS Alpaca mix yarn. And it is it's an all-time favorite, and it is 100% alpaca. And it has this olive heathered look to it, because you can slightly ever feel there's sometimes a little bit golden, hayish colors into that, obviously from where the mix is. It's a colorway 7238, and they do call it olive, this one. And it is soft for an alpaca. It's 100% alpaca, so it's 100% animal fibers. It's 50 grams skeins, so 1.75 or 1.8 ounces. 267 meters, which is about 183 yards. They recommend a 3mm needles or hooks. I use a 3.25mm needle, hook. And I do that because I have a slight bit tighter crochet tension, so that seemed to work out really nicely in this case. I have 5 skeins in total, where 4 are still unbroken. So, and they don't take up much space. So actually, I think I want to take the Thoughts of Ireland with me on vacation. But yeah, I also did progress a bit since last time. But what I progressed on, I realized I need to frog. Yep, I know. And I'm going to see if I can actually explain why or what happened. So what happened with the Thoughts of Ireland is that they have these lovely charts. What happened is I forgot to read. I just threw me onto the charts and worked and worked and worked. I was like, okay, 3, we go into 4, etc. But I had forgotten to read the piece where it says, repeat this section another 3 times. Yeah, so when I was trying to insert stitch markers, because apparently there's this place where we need to do some extra increases throughout the shawl, I only had half the amount of chain spaces that I was supposed to have to get to where it's set. And I was like, keep entering them, and like, it's not adding up. It's just not adding up. Why is this not adding up? Because I need to frog it. So I need to frog the last row plus a bit. Like, I started on a row here. I need to frog this. And then I need to frog all the way back to up here. So the fact is, looking at this, is I didn't progress at all. I realized last night when I wanted to progress on it, and then I was just mentally not in the mood to frog and catch up. So yeah, this is where we are still. I need to get started on frogging this because it's wrong. And you haven't frocked before because they forgot to read a pattern. I did. Is that a surprise? Nope. Because I still don't read the pattern completely through before I start. I just take it as it comes. Which is probably something I should get used to doing, in the sense of I should get used to actually reading the pattern. But now we are frocking this now, because if it's done and wound up, then hopefully I just need to do the pleats, and then that really shouldn't be too difficult, right? We are almost here, almost there. It's not too bad. It's just frocking hurts because you feel you worked for nothing. But you know, I didn't, because I did learn something. And else this shawl had been, I guess, only half the size or even less. So we're back to ground one, I guess, square one, where we were last week. I had progressed. The progress I made was wrong. So now we are rolling up this yarn a bit and we will start again. But that said, I've now had enough time to read this pattern to judge that this is a project I could probably bring with me. And because it's not taking up a lot of space, I do believe it has a warranted slot in my travel bag. Because it's a project I can easily make, and it's definitely still a lots to go. And my plan was not to only crochet when on vacation. I want to spend time with my family and friends. Mainly family, because it's just a family vacation. But there, henceforth, we rounded up. We are ready to give it another go, I guess would be the short version of it. Give it another go with my D hook, so 3.25 millimeters. Read the pattern. Trust me, read the pattern and give it another go. That is basically the fundamental thoughts here. I'm not frustrated yet. I understand why I made the mistake. I just forgot to continue repeating a few times. So that's my mistake. It's not because I don't understand it. I just forgot to repeat for another X times. I jumped the line, basically. Yeah. Also, another thing I want to do is I want to start a new project. They always say you need to prep in advance. I'm not a big prepper. I'm really poor at prepping, yet I've been quite structural and is really good at planning, but when it comes to my crochet projects, I'm really poor at actually estimating how much time I do need to do a certain thing. But cool. I want to make a crocheted ghost for Halloween. And maybe I'll make more, I don't know, but I want to try out a new pattern. It's not, the pattern is not new, it's a free pattern. It's a free no sew pattern, which is what really spoke to me. No sew, yes. Because when I sew on things on amigurumi, it's not my biggest skill. Of course, you will get better if you practice it, but embroidering is not my biggest skill. Yes, I can do cross stitches, etc., because I was taught when I was a child, but it's not something I've practiced a lot. So embroidering is not, it's just not my biggest skill. I probably need to practice more. But I found this no sew ghost pattern with a lovely hat, kind of witch hat on top. And it's a free pattern by, let's see, the Loopy Lamp. I'm going to link to the blog of the pattern here down below. If you don't want to read the pattern freely on the blog, I do believe she has the pattern for purchase on Etsy and maybe also Ravelry or something like that. But where credit is due, I would like to do her pattern. She uses Bernat's blanket for the ghost and hat. I don't have access to Bernat blanket, so easy. I'm not going to use that. I do have chenille yarns, which I am going to use for it. And she also mentions nicely you can use acrylic yarns and other sorts of yarns. You just get a different size. And that, my friends, is the important part. Because I don't have Bernat blanket, which is a pretty big yarn, then mine will be smaller, which is cool. I'm okay with that. But then I also can't use the advice for her safety eyes. I need to find safety eyes that fits the size I'm doing. So again, it's all a bit of a gamble and a feeling. But the yarns I'm going to use for this ghost, and just for a quick reference, I'm trying to insert the photo up here of this ghost that I want to make. Yep, up there. I'm going to use the Hobbies Honey Bunny in white for the ghost. Nice, nice, nice. It's a lovely soft yarn. I used this yarn also when I made unicorns last year, so I had more of it in my stash. It's 100% polyester, Honey Bunny from Hobby. They recommend 7mm crochet hooks, though I do believe we are using, I use a 4.5mm crochet hook, and for the project they're using like 8. You can always hear this, already hear the size difference this is gonna have. Can be washed at 40 degrees, lay flat to dry, can be dry cleaned, do not iron, do not tumble dry, do not bleach. Hobbies Honey Bunny, a very, very lovely soft chenille. This is white, so obviously my ghost is gonna be white. And it has having this, I would say, witch hat, you know, this a pointy hat. And because of being Halloween themed, it seems logic to use Halloween colors. It's also the inspiration I've taken absolutely 100% from the Loopy Lamp here. And I want to use my orange yarn from a Wolletshausen.de, which is their chenille yarn, because this is 100% compatible with this. And why am I saying this? This is 0.1, it's chenille. It's not as tightly wound on the skin, therefore it feels a bit softer right now. It's the colorway 100/25. And what is it's 100 grams to 120 meters. And this is 100 grams to 120 meters. So that's, in other words, 3.5 ounces to 131 yards. And that counts for both of them. Again, same washing instructions, etc. Both are produced in Turkey. So maybe they are the same, maybe they're not, but they're very close and they are compatible. They will work up absolutely fine together. So this is a ghost, and this is going to be the hat. And the hat has a little stripe of black. So I also have some chenille in black to go with that. So I will make a lovely Halloween ghost here. And since the pattern called for like 24mm safety eyes, I'm like, definitely 24mm safety eyes. There will be nothing left. So I will have some smaller eyes. And this is about half size, I guess. So I went to my stash of safety eyes. I do have a little box containing safety eyes. I have some 16mm safety eyes in a bag here. And I already found the safety eyes I want to use. And I think the size is probably going to work out fine. I do reserve the right to maybe go to 14mm or 18mm, but I think the 16 might work out because that's about half, a bit less than half size. It's a third of the size, a third of the size of the 24mm, because half would be 12, right? I think 12 would be too small. And here we have them. And I decided to option for the silvering backing for the ghost. So I will basically be like this. Maybe golden. But I think the silvering would be nice. And if I really like working up this pattern, I might make a second and have golden backings, because I do have some gold backings in here, except it's not wanting to show. but there it is. I do have some gold backings. So I could option for doing that. It does tempt me, but what I first want to do is just make it first and see how it works up. And then we can option for alternatives. That's my thinking right now. So No Sow Crochet Ghost, Halloween Ghost by the Ruby Lamb. Again, description box down below if you are curious on it. At least I'm curious to do it because I think it's a fun little project. It's a fun little project. And yeah. The last thing I've had is I've found some yarns where I had an idea to make towels or not towels, more like dishcloths, but they might be too thick for it. And I'm not sure if I'm bringing these yarns with me on vacation. I'm debating on it. If I do, I want to make a summer shopper bag. I did find a free pattern for this on Hobby, and I will link to that pattern description box down below. The yarns I have is 100% cotton, and it's a medium cotton, which is a different type of yarn that they are using in the pattern, but they are similar. Let's just keep it like that, in the sense of the color is similar, thickness comes around the same. So this might actually work out nicely. I have, if I remember right, 6 skeins of it. I have 5 skeins that's skeined up, and then I have 1 ball which has once been used for a different project. It's 100% cotton. It's not a soft cotton. It's just this sort of a bit more like a rough cotton, which makes me think this could be perfect for a bag. And that is why that I want to attempt making this summer shopper bag from it. As I said, I might bring it with me. So if you see it next time and I start a project, awesome. And if you don't, well, then it's a future project for sure. 4.5 to 5 millimeter crochet hook is what they're recommending for this. 30 degrees Celsius to be washed at. Can be dry clean. Do not iron. Do not tumble dry. Do not bleach. Which is surprising when it's 100% cotton. It is 100 grams, so 3.5 ounces to 150 meters, which is like 165 maybe ish yards. It's produced in China, and it's made for the Action store here in the Netherlands. I got this yarn not because I bought it, because this is not a type of cotton I would buy that quickly. I think I would rather have a softer cotton. But I got it in a Facebook deal. So for me, I do believe that Facebook deal was also even like less than €1 per ball. And I think for that, it's gonna be I have a bag with them in just to help keep track. And I have those 6 of these materials for €6. That's gonna be perfect. And whereas that one is already sort of worked up. Assuming this is a full ball, but it's, yeah, it should be. The rest are skeins like this. So that is 6 skeins, and there should be enough for that shopper bag. And I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. I might have room for it to bring with me. I will have to check and when I do my packing, which is gonna be very soon. And if I don't have room, I'll probably just bring the 2 shawls. If I do have room, I'll probably bring this as well, because then I have some alternative to change around between. Yeah, I think we got it all. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed my yarn talk video. Maybe you got some inspirations as to what you want to do yourself. If you have any suggestions, feel free to provide them as well. I'm always looking for new projects to do as on top. Yeah, I'm going to see you guys again in a week and a half, technically, for the next morning live. But I will be around because on a Monday, we do have another Sort My Stash 2024, but that series is really, and I mean really, slowly coming to its end. And that displays all my good Facebook market deals, of those that's not already been mentioned here and there, all combined in one sorting stash, and an accessory haul as well coming up. And then the following week again, we have a new Sort My Stash video. So yeah, more things are coming up. I'm not gonna leave you alone. But what I am gonna say is take care and happy crafting until I see you again, and enjoy summer. Bye.